Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be working on the white truck. But first things first, stopped in here, turned the air on, and was checking on our welding wire because we figured out. I thought the guy told us that this had solid wire in it. That's why we went and bought this bottle, or I bought this bottle. Turns out this has flux core wire in it, so we need to get some solid wire. So we're gonna do that real quick, and while we're at it, turn those off. While we're at it, we are also going to see if we can find a little plasma cutter today. So we're going to swap out the red truck for the blue truck. It's getting a little warmer. We just got back home from equipment, but I'm going to take this back up there and we're going to swap this truck out for the blue truck. Also, guys, let me just kind of clarify. Yes, I know Harbor Freight welding wire is probably not the best in the world. I know, but there's not any welding supply shops open today where we can go get like Lincoln wire or anything like that. So just kind of making do with what we got. You know, with what's open today. So I would really like to switch back to get that welder going on solid wire with the 75-25 gas that we have, instead of doing flux core. I don't know why, but it's just kind of personal preference. Might make it look a little better, but anyway, just wanted to clarify that. But like I said, we're going to swap out, take the blue truck down there, and also see if we can find us just a little cheap plasma cutter. Okay, guys, so we didn't actually go to Harbor Freight. Looked online. They didn't have it in stock as far as, you know, cheaper units. So we went ahead, found what should be a good plasma on Amazon, watched a couple videos on it, and ordered one. So we are still going to be using flux core wire because we don't have any solid wire. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to make some little extension pieces for the driver's side steps, and hopefully we can get those mounted in. Hopefully we have enough room without doing a bunch of modifying. My grandpa got some spacers and some grade 8 bolts to be able to mount the steps to the brackets. So we have those. We have our spacers. So we're going to try to get the back one mounted, and then we're going to have to build that extension bracket for the front, like we talked about in the last video on these. So we're going to go ahead, try to get the back ones mounted with our spacers, and then if we can do so without any modifying, then we'll move to the front brackets. And also, when he got those mounted, he was able to take a picture, so I will throw that picture up here. That way you can see what I'm talking about as far as needing an extension bracket for the front mount there. Okay, guys, so we got our step mounted. See there. We got our little extension pieces made and welded on to our brackets. Now, I will say, steps are a little high. They're a little too close to the cab. Can't really get my foot up under them. But I'm going to pull this thing out here. I'm going to tell y'all I'm going to have to completely relearn getting in this thing now. I think what we're going to do is get a Expedition pillar piece with the handle like this side. That way I don't have to reach in and grab the steering wheel. But I'm going to completely have to relearn getting in this thing with the body lift and everything. But anyway, like I said, I'm gonna pull this thing out here. We'll get some pictures of it, and I'll show y'all what we got. Now, obviously, the passenger side isn't complete, or is it? We haven't even started on the passenger side, to be completely honest. But we're probably about to call it quits for the day. I know the truck says it's 2:20, but it's more like 5:30, 6 o'clock, maybe closer to 7. I don't really know. But I know it's getting pretty late, and it's been a long day. So anyway, I'm gonna let this thing warm up a minute, and I'll pull it outside. Okay, guys. So we just kind of looked at it. Step does look like it's down a little further in the front than it is the rear. But like I said, I think we're gonna lower them a little bit. You know, here in the future. So we'll probably try to build this bracket over here lower, and then we'll try to move this one, or we might experiment with this one. Now, the reason why we ordered the plasma cutter, I wanted to go over this before we get out of the truck, because it's pretty warm today. And this truck, unlike the 6.0, has air conditioning, so that's nice. But anyway, the reason why we ordered the plasma cutter is essentially, I mean, you know, it's one of those tools that would be really nice to have around the shop. And what we're gonna do, since these brackets look kind of ugly, I'm not gonna lie, look kind of ugly, what we're gonna do is, when the plasma cutter comes in and we get the steps where we want them, what we're gonna do is take the plasma cutter and we're gonna cut out a whole new bracket that is 100%, you know, it's not cut and added onto, or it's not this or that or whatever. It'll be one whole solid, you know, piece. You don't have to, I mean, obviously you don't have to. These work just fine, other than they're a little high, like I had mentioned. But you could very well grind these down, clean them up, paint them up, and they would probably be fine. They'd probably look, honestly look just fine. But with this truck being as tall as it is, I mean, my 6.0 there is got a 2.5-inch level on, I believe those tires are like a 33 or 34 tire. We're I mean, that's about level. The roof of the truck is probably about, on the roof of the 6.0, probably about here or so. The top of the dash is probably about the top of the mirror on that truck. So this thing's pretty large, so you can kind of see everything. That's why I wanted to make them 100%, you know, all that stuff. And, well, hold on. Also, if you're wondering about my gauges, I don't know. We've been trying to figure that out as well. So we have oil pressure. I know we have oil pressure. It's not knocking. It's showed no oil pressure for about the last 30 minutes. So we're good. We're good there, and it's not overheating, I promise. I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, like I said, when the plasma cutter comes in, we're going to make a whole new set of brackets, more than likely. You know, with everything. So we'll just have to see. But these are just temporary mock-up. You know, that way we don't waste a ton of steel and building a bunch of different stuff. But without further ado, I guess we'll hop out of this thing. And if you're wondering what it looks like from the top, that is it. Well, there they are. They don't stick out too far. I mean, I wear a size 13 to 14 depending on the company, and if I stick my heel against the rocker of the truck, it's kind of what we got there. So I'm definitely not going to be standing up on these steps like I do in the 6.0. So with this truck, just kind of have to slide out of it. Don't really care for that, but it kind of is what it is, because I didn't want these things to be hanging out like a half a mile. So that's kind of that. But one more thing real quick, because I know somebody is probably going to ask, or somebody is wondering, if I take my hand and push on the steering wheel, key is out, you can see. I can push on the steering wheel, and sometimes it'll quit until I let off the steering wheel, which is odd. But this truck, since we did the upgraded cables, fires up perfectly. Makes me very happy. But let's hop out of this thing without killing myself, and we'll take a look. So I kind of stepped back and looked at it down there a while ago, and it doesn't look half bad. Now, like I said, we did notice that it does seem that the front kind of runs downhill a little bit. We will get that taken care of at some point, but there we are. So I thought I'd mention as well, on our extension bracket, we welded, I think it was a 1-inch piece onto our mounts, moved everything over, drilled our bolt holes where they needed to be, and then cut the heads off some grade 8 bolts, stuck them down through there, and welded them, because with these front ones anyway, you wouldn't be able to stick a bolt in and weld everything and get it all to line up. So we did have to cut those bolt heads. That's why you can see them up under here, right there. Nothing too bad. So that's kind of where we're at. And for comparison, let's see. Here's what we're looking like with no step. So, like I said, it's still a pretty good hike to get up in there. When I step up onto the actual step, I have to bring my knee, a solid, up to here or so, just to get in. So, like I said, we will be moving them down a little bit. So, I'm about 6'2", 6'3", and that brings my knee up, about here on the door panel, which is about midway up my torso. So it's kind of where we're at there. Excuse all the junk in here. Got to get all this cleaned out. But anyway, that's where we're at. And then you can see comparison mirror, and then the 6.0 behind it. So that's kind of where we're at with this truck. Waiting on the plasma cutter to come in. We're gonna have to find some sheet metal, and we'll get those brackets knocked out, and then we can mirror to the other side. Also, front bumper brackets, gonna try to work on those at some point. We might try to put wheel bearings we might try to put wheel bearings in this thing this weekend, and possibly even get the first drive. Got to put tags on it too. But anyway, guys, that's probably going to be a wrap for today's video. If you guys enjoyed today's video or found it helpful, please drop a like and comment down below. Smash that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope everybody has a great day.